Hi everyone, it's Kute here, sending you big love wherever you are around the world right now. I've received a few questions, especially since my You Are The One book has come out, in terms of, how do I find my life's purpose? What if I don't know what my life's purpose is? What if I don't know what next steps to take? What if I don't know what to do? I'm kind of lost, I have an idea, but I'm not sure. Wherever you are on that spectrum, whether you are living your life's purpose, whether you're kind of dabbling with it, whether you're someone who you say you have no clue in terms of what your life's purpose is and what it is that you're here to do, I'm making a very special short video for you, and I'm going to teach you the 4 questions that you need to be asking yourself. That's 4 questions that will help activate, trigger, inspire, and invite you to connect with what your life purpose is and live that, or at least go in the direction of your life purpose. There's this myth in the personal growth industry. I think it's a myth, and I think it's perpetuated. Sometimes it frustrates me because I hear so many people say, well, first, the myth is that you have to have your life purpose totally figured out. You have to be clear about what it is. You have to have, you need to know and have it defined on a little poster board and a little mission statement. You need to be clear what your life purpose is before you can start. And I feel it's a great idea, it's a great intention, but I feel it's a myth. So I want to bust that myth. You do not need to be clear on your life purpose to begin to take action. You do not need to be clear on your life purpose and sit on a couch and figure it out and try and understand all the elements of the purpose for your unique expression in this lifetime. Ultimately, I believe the purpose of life on a bigger macro level, not just a micro level, is that we incarnate into a human experience as humans because we have certain lessons to learn. There are certain things that the consciousness, the greater consciousness that we all emerge from is seeking to experience. There's certain lessons that we have to learn, and it's through experiences, it's through life, it's through relationships that we get to learn. So ultimately, the bigger purpose of life is to learn those lessons, is to realize who and what, and remember who and what you really are. To me, this is the ultimate purpose, to evolve and become your most authentic self. That's the ultimate purpose. Now, in terms of your micro purpose, in terms of how consciousness, how you are seeking to manifest and express in the world, what's your purpose? I hear so many people, because they have this idea of, I have to know what my purpose is, I have to have it complete, I have to have 10 steps figured out. You don't. You really don't have to have it figured out before you begin. And because of that, I see so many folks who are confused because they think they don't have it figured out. They're like confused. And many times, I meet many clients that come to my events and they say, "Kute, I'm confused. I don't know what my life purpose is." And what I've found is they actually do have a sense of what their life purpose is. They're either just playing the I don't know game, pretending to not know, because if you're confused and you're pretending to not know, then you actually don't have to take the risk of facing the unknown, facing rejection, going in a direction that you have no clue in, and moving out of the comfort zone that you might currently be in. So there's a payoff we get for pretending to not know. There's a payoff we get for acting confused. There's a payoff we get for not really being sure what our life purpose is. But I think deep down, just even the fact that you're asking the question, that we ask the question, there is an inkling, there is a sense, there is a bubbling in your soul, in your being, as to what it is that you're here to do. So if you don't know, rather than waiting is an illusion. So what have you been waiting for? What have you been waiting for that you think needs to be different in your life in order to give your life purpose, to live your life purpose? So my invitation is, give up waiting and begin. Take a step. Feel into what it is that you are passionate about. What is it that you love? What is it that lights you up? What is it that makes you come alive and start going in that direction? Because here's what I found: when you take a step in that direction, and then you take another step in that direction, then you take another step in that direction, then you take another step in that direction, each step reveals to you what you need next. So from the perspective of right here in the beginning, you may not see what your ultimate life purpose is, the ultimate work that you're here to do, but as you take one step and the next step and the next step, each step will reveal to you what you need to know, when you need to know it, that you may not be able to see from your current perspective right now. If you look at people like Obama, if you look at people like Oprah, I don't know if they could ever have really figured out, or even Zuckerberg, who started Facebook, and I don't think they could have ever figured out that this is ultimately what they were going to do. They had to take a step. So you have to take a step. Life will reveal itself to you. It's a revelation, and one step leads to the next, and often you will find that you are living into, not figuring out up front, but living into your life purpose in mysterious ways, and it may end up bigger, more unique. It might even surprise you. Be willing to be surprised. So what are the 4 questions? So if you're someone that's saying, well, I'm not sure, I don't know. If you simply look at your history, if you look at all of the experiences that have happened to you in your past, if you look at everything, your pains, your traumas, that's right, your pains, your traumas, your breakup, every sad thing, every bad thing, every good thing, every success, every win, everything that has been the fabric of your life that has made up who you are today, if you look at everything, you will often see that it will give you clues. My father was a minister, he was a healer, he had 300 churches in Ghana. I grew up seeing blind people see miracles. My mother was Buddhist. I grew up in this very spiritual environment. I look back and, it's not a surprise that I'm not selling cars or selling real estate or, selling insurance or a circus performer or necessarily like a musician. It's the foundation of my life in terms of what I'm doing now with my book, You Are the One, and teaching seminars around the world. The foundation was provided, that trajectory, the seeds were planted if I looked at my history. So look at your history, because many times your history will point you in the direction of what your purpose is. I worked with a client who was brilliant at working with autistic kids, and she kept saying to me, she was a client of mine, and she kept saying to me, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what my purpose is, but I'm brilliant at working with autistic children. It's like, hello, that's called a clue. That's called a clue. That was an area of expertise based on her history, based on her experience. She was a teacher, she worked with, hundreds of kids over 20, 30 years. That was her history. Your history will give you clues. The second thing is, look at what you are naturally good at. Look at what comes second nature to you. Because some of the things that you're naturally good at, that come second nature to you, that are easy to you, maybe it's understanding numbers, maybe it's design, maybe it's organizing. I promise you this, they will likely not come easy to someone else. And you might think, it's not a big deal. You might not think of it as a gift, but it is a gift. It is your gift. It is a gift that you are here to give the world. And you might not look at it as a gift because it's something that you always do. It's something that you've always done. You may not really appreciate what you have, but someone else will appreciate. If you're great at numbers, someone else is going to appreciate your ability to look at numbers, decipher numbers, understand numbers. So realize that what comes natural and easy to you is one of your gifts that you have to give, and that will point you in the direction of potentially the direction that you need to be going into in terms of what your life purpose may be. The third question is look at which group of people, which group, which community, which types of people do you naturally have an affinity for? Do you naturally resonate with? Do you love? Do you connect with? Maybe it's homeless people, maybe it's blind people, maybe it's single mothers, maybe it's people that are 7'5" and have green eyes. Maybe it's babies, maybe it's children, whatever it is. Look at the group of people for whatever the reason. You don't have to rationalize it, but feel, who do I connect with? Who do I feel? Who do I naturally have compassion for? Because that will often also point you in the direction of who you might be uniquely qualified and have a destiny connection with, karma with, to serve that group of people. There's probably a reason you have that connection with them, either through experience or just your soul's connection. The fourth thing to look at in terms of deciphering, decoding what your life purpose is, the fourth thing is simply, what problems are you uniquely qualified to solve? What problems do you easily solve? What problems can you solve? I think we all have a gift at solving specific problems. One of my gifts is helping identify where people are stuck, what keeps you blocked, and creating processes and experiences that helps to not only identify that, but helps to unblock you and untangle your conditioning. This is one of my gifts. This is what I've done, my one-on-one work. If you come to Bali with me, or you go through my coach apprentice training, or you come to the Man Breakthrough experience, whatever it is, or even if you read my book, you'll find that this is one of my unique gifts, and this is one of the problems that I help people solve. So what is the problem that you are uniquely gifted at solving? What is that? And sit with that, reflect on that, because there's usually at least one, and you might not think, well, it's that valuable, but when you put them all together, you might start seeing different elements coming together, and these 4 questions can help point you in the direction that you need to be going. Ask yourself these 4 questions, because what I found is, when you're able to solve a problem, then you add value to people's lives. And abundance, making money, is in direct proportion to the amount of value you can add to people's lives. So I always tell people, don't seek money, look to add value. And what adds value is when you can solve a problem for someone or a group of people. So as you sit with these questions, feel into what your life purpose is, and just allow yourself to be open to the possibility, and ask yourself this. Don't just ask yourself, what do I want to do? Because we often ask ourselves, what do I want to do? And that's based on our conditioning, that's based on our egoic identification. But when you open yourself to the universe and you surrender yourself, realizing that you have been birthed into existence, that the force of creation and life has brought you into existence and is what's living and breathing you right now, that same intelligence is what wants to express through you and use you as a means of expression and creation on this planet. When you realize who you are, that you are a part of that intelligence and consciousness that is functioning all of nature, then the question moves from what do I want to do? What do I want to do with my life? What is my purpose? And the question that you start opening to is, what is it that wants to express through me? What is it that wants to be created through me? What is it that wants to be birthed through me? And then you could almost say you open yourself to being used and lived by life itself. Then your true purpose is no longer just your purpose as a little ego self or a separate self, but your purpose expands to a bigger purpose. This is what Gandhi lived. This is what Mother Teresa lived. This is what Buddha lived, Jesus lived, Bruce Lee lived. Those that were the great ones had a bigger purpose, a purpose that was bigger than themselves, that moved through them, and life, magic, miracles happened. They were the vessels. They were in service to the purpose of life, using them. Have a purpose so big that it forces you to evolve and expand into who you really are. Hope these 4 questions help. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to sign up on my website. You'll receive weekly updates and videos. If you haven't checked out my book, You Are the One, check it out. You'll enjoy it tremendously. I love you lots. Big hugs. Love now.